This morning. That's what I forwarded to Mr. Middleton.
Well, I'm glad you did, and it seems to have worked.
It is now 4 p.m., sir.
Say again?
4 p.m.
It's 4 p.m. Well, let's do it. The Richmond County Board of Assessors monthly meeting, June 15th, 2020 is called to order. Ms. Coleman, would you do a roll call, please?
Yes. Roll call, beginning with Mr. Bill Lee.
Well, I'm here.
Mr. O'Neill.
Here.
Ms. Burney.
Here.
Ms. DeAntonac. Ms. DeAntonac. Okay. Mr. Mills.
Here.
Mr. Middleton.
Here.
Mr. Scott. Mr. Scott. And Mr. Simpkins.
Here.
Okay, Ms. DeAntonac and Mr. Scott not on yet.
Have we got someone who can call them?
I'm sorry?
Have we got someone that can call those two? They might be having trouble getting on.
I know Renee was having trouble getting on. I'll check about Mr. Scott.
Okay. You can do that with all your other duties?
Yes, it's being recorded.
Okay, that's right. Well, today, this board meeting is the third time we are in a virtual environment as we adjust accordingly to the coronavirus impact. By the use of Zoom.us, board members and staff will conduct the business of the day as we would do under normal conditions. And for the public and media access, this meeting is also being live streamed by the use of YouTube. That said, first order of business is the approval of the agenda for June 15th, 2020.
So move. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right. This is really awkward doing this on the phone and by computers. Approval of the minutes of the May 11th, 2020 meeting. Any questions on the minutes? Corrections?
I move to be approved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Got a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed is nay. Ayes have it. Committee reports. Specialized Assessment and Obsolescence Committee Chairman, Mr. Simpkins.
Mr. Chairman, we did not have a meeting per se, but there are two items that Mr. Roundtree will discuss and during his report. That's a follow-up on what had already been discussed at prior meetings.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Simpkins?
No, sir, that's it.
Okay. Personnel Review Committee Chairman O'Neill.
Agenda item for an executive session following the agenda business of the day, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so you want to have an executive session after we finish with the regular agenda?
Yes.
Okay, I'll move it to there. Okay, we're going to spend the focus or our focus on the 2020 personnel and business property staff proposed digest. We'll also receive recommendations from real property, residential, commercial, and land regarding 2020 appeals to date. As such, we will address personnel property first, and the appeal recommendations will follow after we hear from each board member on their assigned accounts. Each were assigned 45 pages, and I was only assigned 32. Personal property, Ms. W.
Good afternoon. I first want to take the time to thank the board members for changing the meeting from last week to this week. It was very much appreciated. And we're going to be talking about our assessment change lists, our homestead applications for 2020, our Freeport denial letters, and our regular staff recommendation that was in the packet sent out to all board members. So if you want to get started, we can start with the assessment change, or however you would like to go forward.
Yeah, let's do with the assessment change.
Okay.
Is this, make sure I'm reading this correctly. Is this the board members' homework?
Yes.
With that change, Mr. Chairman, you would move to your board work versus Ms. Bouge's going over your other files, which are on the board table that you reviewed earlier prior to the meeting.
That's a homestead exemption application.
That's
Freeport
correct.
denial letters are hard copied and on the conference room table, right?
Yes, sir. Those are the documents you reviewed because we're in this virtual environment and you're in the building, so you validated that those documents do exist.
I did see them.
At this point, you would then move on to your assigned ACL list.
Gotcha. So first up is Mr. O'Neill. You had pages 1 through 45. Do you have any questions? Is everything good for you?
Yeah, most of it looked good. I had a couple of things that I kind of was not too clear on. One was we're showing addresses on a few of these properties as 0 city and 0 county as an address, and I didn't quite understand what that was about.